They didn't go anywhere, Sarah. You ran away.
That's not true. It's not true. Just saw a little bit of busking action right here in front of the Hoyto.
That's right, Mr. Jean-Paul DeRover, trying to earn some extra cash for his next tour, I think. Seriously, though, we're going to be speaking with Jean-Paul DeRover a little bit later on, see what's going on with him, what he's been up to in the last little while.
For sure, and we're going to have a couple of great music videos coming up for you, local ones. We have Atikokan and Kenora. We're not going to tell you who they are, you just have to stick around and watch.
We actually have a whole lot of teasing to do today, because not only are you not going to find out who's being played in the videos, Sarah also has a very special interview coming up at the end of this show that she did at the Bean Fiend with a very, very small band. You've probably never heard of a huge band. But we're also not going to tell you who that is either. You're going to have to stick around for that as well.
Stick around, we've got a great show for you coming up. But first, more Jean-Paul DeRover.
You just do me right. He didn't hear me scream at him last night. And when the sun finally awoke, my eyes were puffy and oh Lord, did I know my blues. I only need a bit of gospel to ease my mind. So I grabbed me the Bible and I held it tight. And I prayed to the Lord one time. Can't you just do me right? He didn't hear me scream at him last night. And when the sun finally awoke, my eyes were puffy and oh Lord, did I know that man of mine, his soul, it had to go. Maybe I should have, I paid my dues by kneeling and praying in those church house pews. Then maybe God would have helped me with my blues. Then maybe God would have helped me with my blues.
Well, that was Atikokan's Sunday Wild, and we actually will be traveling to Atikokan to have a chat with Sunday in her hometown.
And coming up next, our counterparts in Kenora were at the Trout Forest Music Festival and caught up with Big Boogaloo.
Big Boogaloo. Have you ever heard of Big Boogaloo, Jason?
I've never heard of Big Boogaloo, but I'm definitely interested.
Well, they're from Kenora, and they're up next.
We're Big Boogaloo, and you're watching Shaw TV.
On fire, your children are alone. A little bird, fly away home.
Hi, I'm Rick Brignall, coming to you from the Trout Forest Music Festival in Cedar Falls, Ontario. Here right now I'm talking with two members of Big Boogaloo, and they just finished a amazing set with Don Amaro and Neville Quinlan. And just going to ask you a few questions about Big Boogaloo. For about 6 years, you've been together. You formed a foundation in Kenora, playing gigs, like you said, for everything from bar mitzvahs to socials. What's it like coming out to a festival like this, where you're surrounded by so many different acts?
We did it 2 years ago, and we really enjoyed it, and we got invited back. We've done some other festivals this summer. The Harbor Fest was the big one for us in Kenora. It was a lot of fun opening up for Doc Walker, and then we got an opportunity to play out at the Coney Island Music Fest, which is a growing festival for the Kenora community. So it's great to be a part of all those community events for sure.
So you're kind of branching out this year, and you said you were here 2 years ago. So kind of what is more of a future outlook for Big Boogaloo? It seems like you're stretching your wings right now.
Well, this year's the big festival year. I think it's because the CD was released last year, and we used that as a press kit for getting some gigs, and it certainly worked out in our favor for a number of gigs. And I guess now the thing is to get back into writing material. We'll have some time in the fall probably, writing some more material and hopefully recording another album.
Okay. Being at a festival like this with so many different styles of music, so many different types of musicians, groups, singles, cellists, everything under the sun. Kind of musically, what do you get out of this as kind of inspiration?
Well, I can't speak for anybody else, but for myself, I really enjoy the collaboration. Like this last stage that we just played at, it was three of us, with Neville and Don, and we got to play on their tunes. They played with us, and we got to and it's nice to hear other instrumentation, and then you start thinking of different ways that you can approach music, and and also the songwriting too. Like we've heard some amazing songwriting, like the quality of the material is great, so that really inspires us to come up with our own slant on what we're doing for sure.
Perfect. One more, kind of what's the future outlook for Big Boogaloo? What can we look forward to, Ken?
Well, we're constantly booking gigs, and we're always expanding. If you want to keep on top of us, it's really easy. Go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Big Boogaloo. Our website's bigboogaloo.net. And that's where you'll find out what's happening. But there's gigs coming all the time, and there's all kinds of things on the burner.
Your eyes are making their way across the room. Search all over, ain't no mistaking. Shimmy, shake like you do. Ask me to dance, looking for romance, and not only one will do. Take my hand.
Welcome back to Shivering for Sound. We're here out in front of the Hoyto on a lovely, lovely summer day. It's not summer at all anymore. It has definitely gotten chilly. Thank you so much to Jean-Paul de Rover for coming out and baring his hands to the cold. Jean-Paul, outside of freezing your buns off here, you have some things planned over the next little while, including a little bit of a tour.
Indeed, there's a little bit of a tour. I'm going out to Halifax and back with a couple of dates, but I've got a big show happening in North Bay actually in about a week and a half, or on the 24th of September, where actually it's at a tattoo parlor, which is not something I'm known for. I mean, I'm
cool.
I'm non-pierced, non-tattooed, non-anything, but
as of today, you are anyway.
That's right. I got them all removed just for this occasion, especially the nipple ring.
Oh.
But what I've done is a couple years ago, as you both remember, I'm sure, I put out an album that folded into a 3D house. It's called Windows and Doors, and this tattoo parlor in North Bay, the guy loved it so much that he also, the tattoo parlor operates as an art gallery at the same time. So he's putting together this art show based on the album, where 14 different visual artists get a copy of the album, and they choose one of the songs from the disc, and then they create an art piece based on that particular track. So then I'll show up the day of the grand opening and play the album front to back.
That's so cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a pretty neat idea.
Very cool.
I'm very honored to have been selected to have something like that done to a piece of work that I created.
Maybe get some ink of it on your back or something?
Oh yeah.
No?
All 14 pieces.
Yeah. Now your music, you were just recently at the Trout Forest Music Festival,
Yes.
and we have a story coming up later about the festival, and Jean-Paul's got a little piece in there as well. All your music, you make all the sounds yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so you layer and layer and layer. Tell us about that.
Well, I mean, I refer to myself sometimes as the sonic architect because I build sounds from scratch. So I'll actually, I'll use my acoustic guitar as well as my voice, and I've got a drum machine, but I actually have to trigger it live. There's no pressing play on a laptop or an iPod and just sort of playing karaoke to it. Everything is done.
So how do you do that? You trigger it. How do you trigger it?
I've got a bunch of equipment that allows me to record myself in real time and then have it play back, almost like a boomerang. So it just it comes back and back, and then it loops over and over again, and then I can keep adding and adding and adding. So I start with the basics of the song, and then by the end of it, I've added all the little finishing touches.
Can you do any cool noises for us right now that you do? Not gonna do it.
You know what? Jason can. I've been training him.
Only in secret. Sorry. No, I'm not ready to release my ninja noise-making skills.
Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. There it is. I love it. It's so cool. You'll have to listen to more of JP's albums to hear more of that and really listen to it. Listen to the layers. How do people find your music?
Oh, of course, I've got a website online, jeanpaulderover.com. And what was he just pointing to? No, so jeanpaulderover.com, and then anywhere else, if you look me up on Facebook, Twitter, anything like that, you'll find me, and you'll find my music and stuff like that too. So.
From all those things that I don't want anymore, would you love me? Or is your heartbeat sore? 'Cause I don't have to do anything. And when you walk by, you wipe away the tears from your eyes. We had beautiful memories. 'Cause I don't.
What about Trout Forest? Like, I know you were saying earlier you weren't intending on playing there. You're doing some workshops. Tell us how all that went.
Well, it's not so much that, just as like the festival has all these different artists performing, and then I was lucky enough to be chosen to do a bunch of workshops throughout the whole festival, which is great because not a lot of people are familiar with me, and a lot of the audience came from Winnipeg or west of here. For those of you that don't know where Winnipeg is. But, so it was really nice to be able to do that, as well as, just to network and meet a bunch of different people that were really similar. I met a couple of other live loopers. Chris Dirksen, who is an Aboriginal looper that does a lot of stuff, used to do a lot of stuff with Tanya Tagak and travels internationally all the time. Mark Marilainen, same sort of thing, like lots of touring and lots of really creative musical works that are being produced. And to be able to do workshops alongside fellow loopers was pretty neat.
Live loopers, that's what you call, that's the name?
That's the art form, live looping.
Oh, very cool.
So with all these connections that you're making, will we see Jean-Paul Derover going overseas or Australia, Hawaii perhaps, someplace warm anytime soon?
Well, actually, I'll be going down to California come February. and early March, and then doing a bit of a U.S. tour at that point. But I also just got my Belgian passport, so I will be hopefully doing some stuff in Europe in the next year.
Very
Excellent.
cool. Very cool.
Which isn't very much. It isn't much warmer at all, but you know, it'll at least be fun.
It'll be different anyway.
Yeah. Cool. Well, everyone, stick around. Up next, we have a rap that our fellow reporter did in at the Trout Forest Music Festival. So stick around and check that out. It sounds like a sandwich. Trout Forest Music. It's a wrap up. It's a wrap up.
I thought he was actually rapping.
No. No, it's just a wrap. A wrap of the whole festival. So stick around and check that out.
Time and pride and all that was. If I apologized on stage, would you let it go? I didn't think so, 'cause I don't have to do.
Well, sometimes I get lucky, and I throw it all away. What's that? I just can't speak a very bad look. It's no for another day. I'm trying not to get too high.
Although it's a bit of a drive to Ear Falls, it's not far when, at the end of the trip, you get a chance to hear rich sounds like the F-Holes from Winnipeg at the 16th Annual Trout Forest Music Festival.
I think we all have really, really short attention spans, and we don't like playing the same style twice. It's our first time here, and it's absolute blast. It is definitely one of my best festival experiences.
Music director Devin Latimer chooses this music with variety and local sounds in mind.
It's not rocket science or anything like that. It's just bands I like, and then trying to have some variety is about all it comes down to. Once I have a few genres in there, then I just kind of patch it in with trying to fill in some other stuff.
Kenora's own Big Boogaloo took to the Trout with their own funky mix of tunes.
Well, this is our second year doing this festival. We did it 2 years ago, and we really enjoyed it. It's nice to hear other instrumentation, you know, and then you start thinking of different ways that you can approach music.
Tomorrow will be our last day. Drag your words through.
Because it's so fun to come here and see all the happy, smiley faces. People just want to come and hear good music and enjoy themselves. And fortunately, this year we've got the sun on our side, and we're all having a good time. And it's, I think, one of the most record-breaking years so far.
We get to listen to a bunch of awesome musicians play, and we're musicians, and I think that's why we came in the first place.
So, what's your secret on getting the autographs?
Well, you just gotta stay a long time.
I got a white Cadillac. I bought it off my mom and dad.
Thunder Bay's Jean-Paul de Rover amazed the audience with his sound. Everything you're hearing right now is all done by his voice alone.
And when we're making out, I keep your boyfriend in the trunk. Yeah.
For the first time in a few years, the sun graced the festival all weekend long, helping the attendance record reach nearly 2,000 people from all over the Northwest and Manitoba. In Ear Falls, with the help of Rick Brignall, I'm Shelley Bujold.
It's midnight, then I'm about to drive by.
Welcome back to Wired for Sound. I'm Jason Wellwood, and it's time to find out what's in my bag. Today, I'm gonna do a little digging here. No surprise for this first one, we have Jean-Paul DeRover's latest EP, Pitch Pipes. Now this is a 3-song EP, all tracks that he has previously released. However, he's done them completely a cappella. There is no guitar, no bass, no mechanics of any kind. It's all JP's voice. Very, very cool. On this you'll find Fix You and a Windows and Door medley. If you are curious about this, go and talk to JP about it. Once again, he'll be playing at Black Pirate Pub on the 22nd of September for his tour kickoff, and you can find out more about Jean-Paul and this EP Pitch Pipes by logging on to jeanpaulderover.com. Next up for you, we have a little bit of Canadian folk metal. Yes, that's right. Even the people who play metal like to play a little bit of folk now and again. This is a band by the name of Scythia. They are from Vancouver, BC, and they've toured through Thunder Bay a couple of times before on their first record. This one, Of Exile, is brand new, just came out. As you can see, it's still got the sticker on it letting us know what kind of stuff you can expect. And what's really different about this is most traditional folk metal records have a lot of violin and stringed instruments. On this one, they focus more on the oboe. That's right, the oboe of death is what they call it on this. So this is Scythia of Exile, and you can check them out at scythiafolkmetal.com. And that's all we've got for you today, but stay tuned because you never know what I'm going to pull out of my bag next. I'm Jason Wellwood for Wired for Sound.
Hello, we're the Sheepdogs, and you're watching Wired for Sound on Shaw TV.
Shaw TV.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I hear like a little bit of the Guess Who.
Yeah, I know we get all sorts of comparisons. I think because Ewan's voice is very, it's kind of like, would you consider it a baritone voice? It's very much like derivatives.
I consider it a basso profundo.
Yeah.
But
anyway, a lot of people compare that to Burton Cummings or whatever. But no, definitely we like music from the late '60s and early '70s, and so that's the type of music we make.
Yeah, well, you don't really hear too much of that, the sound that you guys have now, like in 2011 we're at now, and I think it's real refreshing.
Well, thank you. We do too. I mean, we find a lot of modern music to be very uncreative and kind of soulless. So that's why we're doing what we're doing.
Now, what about being on the cover of the Rolling Stones, which is huge, because usually bands work their whole careers to be on the Rolling Stones, and you guys kind of did a little bit backwards.
It definitely is strange. I mean, obviously, it is a little bit backwards, but it's also, it was voted by people who really Rolling Stone, and obviously Canadians got really behind us and helped us to outvote the competition, which is cool. I mean, obviously, being on the cover, it just means, for a lot of people, means recognition for their their work they put in and their band. But for us, I guess it means that people are obviously excited about our music, and then also gives us just exposure for more people. I mean, one of the hardest things being a Canadian band is, every band will tell you this, is trying to get any sort of press or recognition in the United States. And so for us to be on basically the biggest music publication in the U.S. on the cover and having an article and stuff like that has just meant really good exposure. And, developing that market is a really important thing for a band.
Was it tough for you guys to break into the American music scene, or?
I mean, we still are kind of doing it. Yeah, it's very tough.
It was tough for us to break through to the Canadian music scene.
Yeah. Right. I mean, when we actually started playing music, we kind of didn't really play in bands before anything, and so we started by covering a lot of songs, just playing together. And one of the first albums that we covered a lot of was Youth and Young Manhood, which is the first Kings of Leon full-length album. So it's pretty cool. I mean, that means something, but also they're just a band that has, came from an honest background and, started out in kind of a cult following and building it on a level, and then became one of the biggest bands in the world right now. So
they're huge. They're going to be playing in front of a ton of people.
Thank you for watching another exciting episode of Wired for Sound. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you loyal viewers at home watching.
Absolutely.
For sure, we wouldn't be.
No.
We'd just be at home.
We might be, but it wouldn't be as fun.
It wouldn't be as fun at all.
At all.
Tell them about your music sale, Jason.
Coming up on Sunday, September 25th at 707 Oliver Road, which is the backyard of the LU Radio building. LU Radio is going to be having their second annual music swap and sale, and we'll have a lot of vendors and some of our DJs there selling music. And if you're so inclined, you could even say bring some of your own music to swap. Possibly.
Like the
people may want to swap.
CDs?
Yeah, absolutely.
Those
yeah,
swappable?
probably not. And also, if you're interested in perhaps having a table of your own, you could even give me a call. Yeah, absolutely. I still don't think the NKOTB CDs are going to go, but you can call me at the station at 766-7260, and we can talk about it.
Is this a rain or shine deal?
It is a rain or shine deal, preferably shine. If it rains, we'll be crammed inside the LU Radio house.
Nice and cozy. Also, you guys watching, if you have any music videos of your own, if you're in a band, you know someone in a band that has a music video, or you want to make one and send it to us, Shaw TV Thunder Bay at shaw.ca, and we'd love to play it. So, for Wired for Sound, I'm Sarah MacArthur.
And I'm Jason Wellwood. Bye.
We'll see you next time.